So, guess what time it is? That's right, it's clam time, and you know what that means. It means we're going to learn about freshwater mussels and clams.
So I'm here at the Elbow River, but you might notice there are no clams here. That's because they're all dead. There's so much bacteria and pollution in this water, at least in this general area, that most all of the clams have died and have been dead for quite a few years now.
Why is that? Where did they go? To understand where all the clams have gone, we're going to have to understand some basic clam anatomy, including how they eat. So, clams eat by filter feeding. They take in water around them and they filter it themselves. This is to get plankton. But it doesn't just take in plankton, it also takes in microplastics and pollutants, which can build up inside of the clam and stay there until it kills it or the clam gets eaten by something else and it's passed on through the food chain. And this brings us to our first problem. Why are the clams dying? It's because of there's so much pollution in the water. It all builds up inside of the clams to the point where they can't even handle it and they die. And there's even a chance that some other predators will come along and eat the clams, therefore passing on the pollution into them as well.
So you can't see it right now, but this water is full of bacteria, pollutants, and microplastics. But what doesn't get eaten stays inside the clams and can build up until they die, or it can get eaten by something else in the food chain, which is called biomagnification.
Every single animal that eats the clam eats a bit of that pollution. And larger animals are eating more than just one clam, so it builds up into deadly levels. Well, I mean, you know it's going to be deadly if there's enough pollution inside of a clam to kill a clam. What's going to happen when something bigger eats it? And this is a major problem that people have been working on a solution for decades. There are so many other animals and organisms dying due to larger and larger amounts of pollution within the water. And clams are just one indicator of how this pollution and microplastic, everything else that humans throw into the water is affecting life. But maybe clams dying and absorbing all this stuff isn't so bad. One example of this is in China. They're using freshwater clams as indicators for the amounts of microplastics that are in their waters. They're using this organism as a biological indicator. One strong Canadian example of this is the Ontario Zoo and their program for protecting clams and using them as a kind of staple on how waters can be polluted. Even right now, you can get an app produced by the Toronto Zoo called Clam Counter. This lets beginner to expert biologists record and help the conservation of clams as well as the research into how we can use them to protect the environment. So if you want to help protect the environment as well as freshwater clams and mussels, you should give Clam Counter a download for free on the App Store right now. With the poison in the lands, killing all the clams, the people rise up and use them as an indicator. They be dying in the water, pollution's got them down, but the people seeing that all throughout the town. Freshwater clams, gonna use them as an indicator. Freshwater clams, gonna use them as an indicator. They hold the toxins throughout their life. We can see this. Just don't use your pocket knife. Freshwater clams, gonna use them as an indicator. They give us a message for pollution in the area. Help a better up, homie. We're gonna use them as an indicator.
Oh, hello. I was just walking through this here forest and noticed that you also hate mushrooms. Well, I happen to have some sacrificial mushrooms. So let's do that. Thank you for watching my clam video. Have a good day. And always remember, fungi